Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Two Eddies Don't Make a Right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Newsplex. Uh-oh. Hold on. Sandy forgot to do it again. You need to go to Black Magic and you need to... There you go. Thank you.
That's funny. This is their new... So yeah, we're getting the live feedback. Oh my god, it's so great.
Let's see what's going on here.
It's a live show, everybody. And I'm off too. My mic is off. I think John's on.
Oh, you know what it is? I figured out what it is. He's got speakers in his studio.
Yeah, John, if you could turn...
You got to put your headphones on. Yeah, there you go. If you could put headphones on, that'd be great.
Yep.
You knew that was coming. Well, we're live in the Newsplex, and Eddie, good morning.
Oh, hey.
Oh, wait. Let me turn on your mic. Here we go. There we go.
And you yell at Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get yelled at today. Okay?
Everybody's getting yelled at. Lexi, what are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, watch your volume. All right.
Yeah.
If not, I'm lowering you again.
I know.
Last episode, I had to lower you.
I know.
I'm gonna do it again.
It's the Cuban in me. Look at this. Look at our set. We got this beautiful set of a city that I don't even know what's behind us. I don't even know what city that is. I don't know. Right. What city is this?
But yet Sandy always gets yelled at. Say it again, Sandy. Say it again. Say it again. Come on, say it again.
Sandy always gets yelled at.
Yeah.
She always gets yelled at.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Eddies. Thank you.
How are you?
That's the right way to start the morning.
All right. Yeah. Welcome to the new Two Eddies Don't Make a Right Newsplex. We are making this happen. This is our show today. All right. This is our show today.
Hey, John, give us a test on the mic live here.
Check 1, 2, 3.
There
test.
we go.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going live to John in the Newsplex. John, welcome to the show. That's your cue,
guys.
Sandy.
Thanks for having me.
That's your cue, Sandy. There it is. All right.
Hey,
we're getting it together.
Everton, hang in there. We're gonna get to you here in a second, bud. Just hang in there, all right?
Yeah.
Yo. So yeah. So that's
good
it.
morning.
Are you done with you're done with the whole shebang intro,
this
breaking the ice?
This whole ish show. This whole ish show.
Yeah. We gotta watch our language. Lexi's in the building today. So
Uh-oh.
I could just introduce the guys, if you want me to. Do you want me to do that?
Is that it is. It is. He's got a short just like us.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You're talking to a pro.
You gotta have it, man.
Look at that,
you
man.
gotta have the 7.
And his room is warm.
Hey, I apologize. My camera, it didn't. Is it a little wacky?
Yeah, it's a little wacky.
It's all right.
I can hear the.
I'm gonna close them.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Close all the other stuff. There you go. Oh, he's a creative. He's got a million windows open.
I got so many things open right now. You don't even know.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
See? So Eddie,
I don't understand, bro.
So for everybody listening right now, just a quick backstory. Eddie gets angry at Sandy and myself for having too many tabs open. But what he doesn't understand is that every creative on planet Earth has 100 tabs open because we got our Envato, or all of our resources there, our audio resources, our visual resources. Everything is open there. YouTube, tutorials, you name it, it's there, right, John?
Yeah, all of it.
Dude, insane. Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
So, bro, hold on, we'll get to that now.
Yeah.
So,
good morning, Eddie.
So, just also to kick things off a little bit here, John Willie, by the way, is one of the most creative human beings I've ever met in my life, and I'm gonna start off with a compliment. You always want to start with a compliment. Got to do it. And him and I go way back. We're gonna talk a little story. I met him when I was working at the Dolphins. He came in and stirred things up, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his life and about how he, started from where he was and got to the point where he is now, which is amazing. And then it all ties in with Everton Allen, because remember, Everton worked with me at the Dolphins as well. So Everton and I were at the Dolphins first, right? So we're there first. It's just Everton and I as graphic designers. Our titles were graphic designers,
right.
But we were basically creative directors,
A jack of all trades,
jack of all
masters
trades.
of none.
Bro, we were literally telling the video
Exactly.
department what to do. Like it was two
you
graphic
go.
designers.
John sounds really good now. I love
Yeah,
it. He's
yeah.
very warm. I like it.
So
Hey, I got my new Apollo. I'm good.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh,
look at
okay.
this. You got the set now.
All right.
All right. So
You got the twin?
I got the
What?
new Solo actually, and I love
nice.
it.
Ah.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it just
Congratulations.
came out. I don't need all that beef, but
So
Thank you.
Everton and I are just yeah. You guys are talking microphones, and I'm here telling stories.
Yeah,
What's
forget your
going on?
story.
Squirrel.
we're talking preamp. Come on.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
He might have a million tabs open on his computer, but I have them in my head. That's
You know what? I'll just wait for you guys to finish, and then Everton and I over here will.
Yeah.
You know, Everton's
over there. There you go. There you go.
There he is. Hey,
Hi, Everton. How you doing?
he was good.
No. I think he's.
Check your mic.
No. He's on. It's just that we don't have a. Let's take him to the newsplex. Take it to the newsplex.
Oh,
we go.
sorry.
Take it to
It's a
the
program.
next
There he is. There he is. I thought the program was on the left.
Good morning.
Good morning. How we doing, fellas?
Yeah.
Doing amazing. There we go. There's that voice.
There he is.
Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
That is-
I just
that
got
was-
up. I haven't had my coffee.
Yeah. No, he's just having like flashbacks of the Dolphin days with me, having to sit next to me in the cubicle.
There it is. Let's go back to John. All right, Everton. We'll be back with you in a
We'll be
little
right
bit. All
back
right.
in the sec.
I'm here, fellas.
All right. So anyway, so then as time progressed, you know, Everton and the team, we were building basically. Everton and I were really the first guys at the Dolphins that we basically started almost an internal agency, you know, along with the VP who supported us at the time, and she came in and structured us in a specific way, which helped me because I was this.
All right, so listening on the outside, absolutely before this, you guys had never met before. You literally met
No,
at work. Is that
at
correct?
work,
All
at
right.
work.
So while you guys were working, you guys created a bond because who was whose boss or who was whose director?
We got two directors
Right.
simultaneously, basically.
But you guys were the workers. They were the chiefs.
Exactly. And then
Okay.
at that, just to paint the picture of who I was, so
Right.
you can understand the impact that this guy had on me.
I know you're Eddie.
No, I thought I was the
You were
the
the
ish.
ish.
I
Okay.
thought I was
Mac Daddy.
bro. I was the bomb.
And you're not?
I had the right attitude.
And then-
I had the right
And
drive.
there comes John walking in with his SM7B all warmed up, and he's like,
Bro,
"You're nothing."
John. No, ask John. There was many meetings that we had and all that, but you know, I'll let him elaborate. But just so you understand where I was at the time before John, so we call it BJ.
Wow.
Before John.
Before John, BJ. Okay. This is getting real quick.
Oh man. So so you know, and John comes in and he gets hired and you know, and Everton and I were kind of running game. You know, we were the kings of the court. You know, we were the guys. We were the
Got it.
people everybody pointed to. And
So Everton was a pimp. Got it.
yeah, bro.
You guys were doing BJs, and he was
I'll
pimping
tell you
guys
this.
out.
I'll tell you this. I was not a polished person, and I was not a polished graphic designer. I didn't know that. And then here comes Everton Allen as well, and that's a whole other story. But Everton, all of us, there was no creative department. There was no. I was overdoing the Finsiders, doing content for the Finsiders, filming, designing. I was all over the place, and then I got brought to the stadium. I got put into the stadium as now a manager.
Right.
Never been. I mean, I've managed before, but I never really managed people once. So Everton, they put Everton with me, like, and no one told. No one told Everton at the time that he was going to report to me. And then my first day at the stadium, my first day at the stadium, I come in and I walk up to Everton. I go, "Hey, bro, so this is what's on the docket for today." He goes, "Who are you? What are you doing?" Like, and then no one had told him that he reported to me.
Oh my goodness! Look at Everton. He's on the background. He's like, "I can't speak right now.
Yeah.
I can't speak right now." They've blocked. They've muted me.
Put Everton on because
No, hold on. Before we go to Everton, we heard your story.
Yeah, okay.
Now I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I want to hear it from John. All right, John, give us the real deal story. Give me the real scope.
Yeah. So, Eddie, when did you start?
He never really started.
I never.
He never really did.
No, it's true. I never really did. I mean, I was the in-game DJ, mixer before that, and then I got hired at the Finsiders I just got hired at the Finsiders. So that was like 2012, I would say.
Right.
Something like that. No, wrong. 2010. 2010 was when I got into the Finsiders. Yeah. Officially.
I was. Yeah, and so I was at the Arizona Diamondbacks at that point, and that was probably 2010. I mean, I worked there for almost 10 years, which is where I met Tom Garfinkel, who was the CEO and president at the Dolphins, and then 2015, I came over to the Dolphins and basically started the same day with Surf Melendez, and I came in from a kind of a photography / sports agency type background to basically come in and revamp photography at the Dolphins, as well as this work with Surf on revamping the creative. And I remember interviewing with Eddie and just being like,
Look at this.
What do you want me to say?
This is what it sounds like. No. Let him finish. This is amazing. He goes, I don't even know what to say. What should I say here, Eddie?
Eddie was just like gung ho, like, let's go. When can you start? Can you start tomorrow? Can we do this?
Those are his exact words. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Sandy, exactly. How does it go?
Let's go.
John, I'll never forget this moment. Can I say it? I don't know if you remember.
Go.
This.
Yeah, go.
Yeah,
go.
we were I said, John, I can't be in a cubicle. I'm a creative. I just can't be locked in. I go, can we go for a walk? So
go for
we did.
Here's my leash. Can you take me for a walk? Yeah. I need to release some poop.
Come on, John. Let's go. Let me show you around. This is where you pee-pee, and this is where you poopy.
God.
And we're here. Pee-pee
This
pad,
guy,
poopy
bro.
pad.
Can you believe this is how we wake people up in the morning?
This is the show, huh? Wow.
Yeah, this is it.
It's fun, man. We try to have fun. Dude, I'm walking with John, and
You mean John's walking you?
Right. He ended. The tables did flip, and he ended up walking me. Yeah,
all right.
That's fact.
Exactly.
He ends up walking with me, and we were talking about the photography from before, like where it was at, the status, and what can we do to improve it. When I saw the portfolio, I didn't care. I didn't care if his personality was like the worst thing on earth. I walked into the hallways. I go, when can you start? I go, look, this is gonna be your playing field. This is where you can go. And he goes, dude, he spoke to me like a friend. And I opened up to him. And bro, I think right out the gate, we really, really did hit it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was, dude, it's just beautiful when that happens. And bro, we were walking and we were just talking. We were looking at angles and this and that. And I was telling him what I desired in my design. Like I was designing with like just a player throwing a football. And he was like, dude, it's more than that. It's more than that. Right, John?
Yeah, so we were all, for me, it was all about storytelling. It was how can we bring storytelling back into the Dolphins, and the Dolphins was very much. We actually use this too in our pitch decks a lot when we were eventually a few years later would be speaking at Facebook conferences and those sort of things, and to understand like how we changed and we use story to really drive everything that we did at Dolphins Creative. And before it was very much a $25, buy your tickets, and all this stuff, which was the typical sports sales pitch, right? And that's how creatives worked. But that wasn't like, you guys saw how many people were coming to games. That wasn't the trick. And we actually came in and said, it was kind of interesting. It was one of the first projects that we did as we really got going and cranking. we actually decided, to use. It was a whole campaign, actually that Eddie and Everton came up with, and it was such a good campaign in how we took it back to the feelings of what we did. Yeah, it was your sense moments. It was bring your sense moments. And then we decided, it was an idea from our CEO, and he really wanted to do this for a while, to use these old music tracks, right? And put them to like Jarvis's one-hand catch in slow motion, and it was we were actually licensing these tracks. We were doing it legit. No other teams were doing that. They were just throwing music on there, or it was all like gladiator music and entering the arena and all this bullshit. So we were just like, no, that's not how it's going to work. And so we changed it up, and we ended up doing a whole campaign that was, Clio shortlisted and actually probably, I think we may have won some Emmys for it too. But it brought back storytelling to what we were doing, because what you had to realize is that you can't rely on marketing the players for a team like that who you can't rely on winning. Especially in that, that was the Joe Philbin time, and we didn't know what was going on. And, who knew Ryan Tannehill was going to be what Ryan Tannehill is today? He certainly wasn't that back then. And so it was less marketing the players and more marketing the moments and the feelings. And that was, that was how we came in and changed things big time. We knew that one of the first things we could do was change photography quickly. And I came in and reevaluated the team, and we got some amazing shooters who were already there. And it was just about telling them, showing them, I guess I should say, how to tell a better story, how to get in. They were shooting from the stands during practice, and I was like, I didn't move my family all the way here from Phoenix to shoot from the stands. I remember saying that into a meeting with PR, and that changed things, because we were literally, on the ground in the huddles, changing the moment. And if you see the photography that they still do today, even in the midst of a pandemic, Carlos and Pete are still making that happen there.
They're killing it. Those two guys are killing it, man.
Did you ever do any live video or just stills?
No, so I eventually took over the video team, a couple years into my tenure there, as a little bit of a transition into when Eddie and one of my closest friends who I've worked with a long time, and a good friend of Eddie's, Will Posthumus, came in and took over video as well. But there was a whole department for that. There was a whole department for that. That was after you left. Wow. Will came in for a first stint with Brendan and that crew, and then
what a squad!
And then came
was,
back.
Huh?
Yeah, that was fun.
Man, all-stars, a bunch of all-stars.
It was crazy, and look where everybody is now, and that's what you got. That's what you got to understand. Like the OG team that we have now are with the Padres. One's with Facebook, one's with the VP of marketing for the Chargers, and one's a CMO at a major healthcare company. Like we've gone on to do some big things just because in sports it's transitional.
All right, so do you watch sports now though? Are you watching the Dolphins at all, or do you watch sports?
It's weird because I was never a big sports fan. That was always one of the draw for me. I always used to tell people.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy? Like, mechanics have shitty cars. Graphic designers can't make their own pictures. They have no pictures in their house.
I can't design my own stuff for
Isn't
myself.
That crazy? And then like a dentist has crooked teeth. Like what? A sports analyst doesn't even watch sports.
Right.
We used to have this in our decks, and when we would tell people about kind of our hiring process, the first thing was no turds. We had that on the back of shirts that
no
turds. Feedback is a gift.
And
feedback is a gift. Idea is king.
Not in audio.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. We don't like feedback in audio. But feedback is a curse in audio. And so those were all those things that really Surf brought to the team. This was from years of working in high-end agencies like Crispin Porter and running global for Adidas. And so there was a lot of big change that we had when we came in, but it was really, I wasn't a huge sports fan because like my degree is in sports medicine. I have my degree is I was an athletic trainer, a certified athletic trainer, and then I got my master's degree in sports business, and so I knew the the physiology of it, but I was always a creative. Like I was a musician, I was a drummer. I, had engineered albums for bands that I was in because audio is a massive passion of mine, and Eddie knows that as well. And, and you guys know that, right? Like I'm trying to learn how to be a freaking DJ, and just because it's fun. And so I'm the kind of guy like you guys probably that likes to learn a little bit of everything. But I was never I don't sit and watch sports. Like it's just not what I do. I played golf. I'm like 350 pounds, and I was a golfer in college.
Yeah.
And you speaking of audio, we have a little clip of you jamming out in the drums. Yeah, so we're gonna show this. All right, here we go.
We gotta show this.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Green Day.
Here we go.
Yeah,
we'll be able to talk over it. So here, look.
Yeah.
So this is you getting down. Now, Sandy, can we open the audio real quick? We're gonna open the audio really quickly, and this should be interesting. All right, just go ahead and hit audio.
By the way, that's Will who works with us.
Take off the overlay. Take off the overlay, and then just transition over. All right, we're gonna transition over. Here we go.
We'll do it. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
You know who Will looks like?
There
Will
it
looks
is.
like Mitch Trubisky, quarterback of the Bears.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that video clip, it's on YouTube, right, Sandy?
Yes,
It's on YouTube.
It's on my
That's on
YouTube
YouTube.
channel,
Oh,
on
that's
YouTube.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put it on our website once
And
it's
then,
finally up.
later we'll put all his handles
Once
and everything.
once Eddie actually does our website.
Oh yeah, that's right. He knows what he knows. John's
John-
like, oh god.
That's awesome.
Hey, John, listen. You've had like a plethora of things that you have dabbled in. Is there something that you said you're very passionate about audio? Is there an avenue that you're trying to pursue too?
It's funny you mentioned that. So right now, what I ended up doing was getting out of the Dolphins, and I came to a startup. And for me, that was just one of the things that I always wanted to do. I had an entrepreneurial itch. I wanted to scratch it. I was like one of the shows that I listened to consistently is how I built this, because I want to know like how these companies were built. I ended up getting in, becoming the COO of a startup that was founded by one of the first 100 employees from Facebook. So if you want to talk about building a company, right, from scratch to nothing, like that's you want to learn from one of these guys, and his name is Tom Erickson.
You were with Facebook.
No. So
No.
he built Facebook.
Yeah.
He built the whole sales side of Facebook.
What?
Kind of single-handedly from when he started.
What?
Yeah, and then he retired in 2014, right? Like
what?
I told you, son.
Yo, can you call him up and ask him why we can't DJ on Facebook?
No, John, better. Can he open up a sales department for us for the show?
Listen, I know you're looking for a startup. We're hiring, We can't pay right now. We'll pay you in breadcrumbs and Starbucks. That's, if that works for you, you can get all the creative you want in here.
Yeah, no, I mean you're absolutely right. And so being able to go work for Tom, we've pivoted a couple of different times, and it's funny you mentioned it. So what we've realized now, like we're called Better Media. We're our whole mission is to give people experiences that make them think, celebrate, embody, and dream of a more positive world around them. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, Gen Z, we realize, and young millennials, like what you guys are going through. And it's not easy right now. And so we're talking openly about mental health. We're talking openly about social justice, which goes back to the T-shirt Eddie's wearing, the conversations that we're going to have with Everton a little bit later.
There it is.
And not shying away from any of these tough discussions about what this next generation of kids is dealing with. We got tight camera on, Eddie. I like it.
Oh, is it? Did it go?
Go,
camera one,
take
and take camera one.
Boom, there it is. Bomb.
Everton can't even speak. He's dying. So that's what we're doing. But
he's laughing on the other. We can see him.
We can see him in
our preview.
In the preview.
So with audio being a passion for me for a long time, obviously visual is a huge piece of what I am. But I understand, like, you got to understand, we're a bootstrapped startup still, meaning we're funded by one person. And we're going on year number 2, and in this game, you have to understand what your audience wants. You have to understand what the market wants. And so right now we've seen the rise in in podcasting, like we're talking to you guys right now, you know.
Right.
And we've seen what happened to Quibi, you know, 2 days ago, shuttering after spending $1.75 billion in 6 months.
Yeah,
it's
Quibi is
nuts,
crazy,
guys.
man.
So doing traditional video and all that stuff it just doesn't work anymore. Eddie would be the first to tell you, like, some of the best videos that we ever did had the most traction. The Dolphins were probably shot on Vince's cell phone, you know, just because that was
You know what it
get
is?
behind the scenes and you were there.
Run and gun just works. I've noticed that a lot in the industry. Run and gun is the way to go. So I'm trying to pivot everything that we do here with a good mirrorless camera on a gimbal and just go. Go and have a Rode shotgun mic on the top and just go.
I mean, look at what happened with me at the barbershop with my hair and the beard and the whole thing. I didn't have it. Hey, John, I didn't have a plan. I grew my hair out in the whole thing because we were in quarantine.
Yeah.
So finally, I get to go to the barbershop, and I was like,
he keeps
oh my
blaming
God,
it on quarantine.
This is great.
We all know that's
I know,
it is a lie.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
saw
laziness.
he saw the Geico commercial and just wanted to get the role. It's the
Dude,
caveman.
I went over there. I went over there and I was like, dude, why don't you film it? Why don't you film this thing and just get it on it and then see what's up? Now it's their top watched video. It's like they had a
Is it
video
really?
with they had like 200 views. And then this video's like at 1,000 plus views or whatnot. And then everybody in the comments is like, if you're not going to this place, you're lost. So they gained customers. They gained,
look at what we did to this guy.
engagement. Yeah.
So here's something that you don't know, Eddie, is that on what's that called? TikTok or whatever, right?
Yeah.
TikTok, but Snapchat.
Okay.
So on
The biggest
Snapchat, right? So on Snapchat, they have like a TikTok thing, like a little reel, because they're almost all the same at this point.
Okay.
They have like a little reel, and they have a barbershop that shows these guys just cleaning up people's heads, making different designs.
Right.
And it's actually really awesome to watch because it's somebody doing a craft that, not everybody can do.
But look, and to John's point, and now I told a story. There was a whole story behind it. It was me. I grew my hair out, the quarantine, this and that. And it's relatable because everyone's doing the same thing. And then not only that, it was the emotional, like how I felt after I was done. And that was the end of the video. It was like, wow, look at this guy. He's so happy now. He's clean. He went from looking bummy to a CEO. There was a comment like that.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
But and the same thing happened when before John got there. I think it was right when John got there.
Yeah, BJ.
At the Dolphins, we had a campaign called Stronger Together
BJ.
that we created. And Stronger Together, the words were more than that. It was like the Dolphins swim in pods and they defend and this and that. So we had this cool, awesome, dope campaign that Garfinkel approved and everything. It was great. It was great. And then we came up with what's the evolution of it? Like, because we're in a good path and we had to drop it. We came up with Dolphin Since moment. And the Dolphin Since moment, remember, John, when we made that video? We made the teaser video for the Since moment, right? Like, since when were you a Dolphins fan, right?
Right.
And it was all about when
That's
was
awesome.
it? When was it?
Now you're getting engagement with everybody. People are sending in
Big time.
photos of them, their grandparents.
And remember
That's
that,
so
John?
awesome. That's so
check
awesome.
this out, and check this story out. When we put that video out, we created like a landing page where the hashtag was aggregating. So we created an aggregator. So everybody, if you weren't a fan, if you were pissed at the team, it didn't matter.
Right.
Literally everyone went, I remember when I was happy. I remember when the team made me happy. I remember when grandpa took me to the game, when dad took me to the game, when I was there with my son, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
And then the Dolphins lost that day.
Dude, no, but check this out. But this is where it
Didn't
gets
win
better.
much.
But under John's direction, under John and Surf's direction, and the team and everybody, that video did something special. There was a kid, the kid I think from Providence. He was a quarterback at Providence. He's an attorney. He was like 35 years old at the time. Sends a letter.
Amazing.
Sends a letter to the team. Sends us, hey, in that video, you have Dan Marino and Mark Clayton at the Orange Bowl handing me a football. And we're like, you're that kid? He was the kid. He was there with his
Wow.
He was there with his grandfather and his dad.
No way.
The grandfather took a picture of that moment.
Right.
So Inception, we got the photo. He sent us the photo
And do
that
it
his
later.
grandfather took while the Dolphins were filming that moment.
Wow.
So we got the back end, and then we got the
front end.
grandpa's picture.
Right.
So
Did you reenact it later
Marino-
on? I figured. I figured I was already ahead.
Bro,
I was already
why
ahead.
you-
Sorry.
you're killing
I'm
the movie.
sorry, bro.
Wow,
I'm
bro.
sorry. This is what I do in movies. I've already figured them out by the end. I'm sorry.
Remember, John? They flew him down.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot where he lives. I think it's Tampa or whatever. Anyways, flew him
Yeah.
down. We interviewed him about it,
Right.
talked to him about it, and then we surprised him with Mark Clayton and Dan Marino. Give him a football
man.
again, 30
That is
something
so
years later.
Awesome.
Okay, tell me
was
that
great.
isn't to me that's the greatest thing I think we ever did at the Dolphins was that time.
That makes good news segment.
And
there it is. That makes good news segment.
And then, but now let's segue Everton in. Let's bring
Yes.
Everton in because this is where we're gonna unite things up a little bit here.
Good morning, Everton.
What's
How
up,
are
B?
we doing, buddy?
Going
In
on,
studio.
Welcome back to the studio.
Hey, we were challenged by the team, and Everton and I were in my house, and we were at the famous Since table is what they called it, the Since table. So that table, I think did we do Stronger Together there too, or something like that, or it was just I think it was just a Since, right?
We just went to that. We just hung out that night.
Yeah.
Drinking with there.
Everton
and
said it.
happened.
It came out of Everton's mouth. We were,
Also, look this
we were like, what do we do? 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 We were doing all kinds. Where is he? Is he over there?
Yeah, he's over there. He's over there.
Over here. He's over there. I can't find Everton.
He's at the Sins table.
I'm still getting used to this thing, but it came out of his mouth. He said the word since. He goes, because we just couldn't. We came up with all kinds of cockamamie stuff. Like, it was just crazy. And Everton said, he goes, how about since when were you a moment? And I was like, we were like, that's it, write it in. We got this. And then we had the meeting. It got approved. And you know, kudos to Everton. He's bro, that brain, bro. I wish I had that brain. I wish I had a brain like that. You know.
The funny thing is, I'm on that right now.
We lost you there for a second.
we
One
lost
more
you.
time.
I said the funny thing is, I'm the only one that still works with the Dolphins right now.
Oh, do you
Right.
still work there?
Well, I'm
What?
consulting for them now.
Oh, okay.
we
all
didn't
right.
know. We didn't know. Are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on a laptop.
Oh, you're on the laptop. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have something next to the microphone? Do you have something on top or something?
I don't know.
Oh, it just the connection's a little winky wink.
Yeah,
Wonka,
muffly.
wonka.
Yeah, you sound a little muffly. We got to get
Yeah.
you an SM7B. That's what we need.
Yeah, and a hotspot.
There you go. Yeah, we're
Might
getting
be-
a hot spot.
Yeah.
Might be the Wi-Fi. E.
This is what happens. AJ.
So,
I mean,
well-
AJ.
But
I don't
anyway,
even know. After John.
yeah, crap. E,
After John.
your mic cut off too. E. So let's try to get E back on. Let's go back to John and then let's try to get E back on. So let's. Hey, so John, hey, now that
transitions.
we're
Beautiful.
we're at Better BETR. John, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think he
that
was
was-
talking about our transitions. Do you, okay,
Well,
so here's
we're
the
gonna
question.
talk
Here's
about
a
the
vortex.
collab.
You're
Well
a
done.
massive creator. How do you
Right.
think we're doing?
You're doing great. I love it. I especially love that your mic stands are floating when we go into the studio scene. Looks
Isn't
great.
that awesome?
Yeah, there's no arm.
Isn't that?
I don't
Tell
know
me
how
that's
I
not
don't know how you
Look,
do that.
Look at this.
We're
Look,
so
there's
amazing.
nothing in there. Look,
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. We're
No, I
special.
love
No
those guys. I
strings.
mean, it's using these green screen in this technology is where you have to go right now, right? You have to
Yeah.
differentiate yourself among all the crap that's out there. So kudos
Yeah.
to you guys for really making the effort to go there.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Sandy. Can we do something? Can we get a 3 peg for Everton in there, please? Can you make a three peg? I think that's gonna help with his audio as well.
Ah.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna give that a shot. We're gonna.
Yeah,
all right,
maybe
go ahead and
that'll
ask your question, Eddie.
No, so anyway, so John, you know, we also want to start talking about like the collaboration with E with the 305 brand with what that what it's about, how it helps everyone, on the positive flow, because everything we're about is the story I'm telling right now, and the reason that I have you guys on is because the road to where we got there, we talked about all the happy moments right now. We talked about the cool stuff, that we've done and this and that. But, behind the scenes, the realness of the ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? I went through major downs, and I was in your office talking to you about them. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Exactly. And you let me know when we were down, and then we went out, we had beers and this and that, we kicked it. And that's the reality. A lot of people then, what I want to do is be the example for the people who have the fear to step up, to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Pun intended.
But it is.
Yeah,
it's about being better with each other and talk about that.
That's it. Really what Better is about is breaking the stigmas that are that we all hold in our life, right? So I'm very open about my story. I started a podcast called Creative AF, which is essentially kind of a play on words, and in that we're all tortured creatives, right? It's not creative as fuck. It's really creative and fucked is what I meant. Like
Sandy's
we are
cracking up right now. She's done.
That's so clever.
I designed the logo I downloaded the worst logo app that I could find because I wanted to say, like, you can tell a story, and you don't always have to be doing, like, using the highest end shit. You don't always have to be using the best stuff, except for audio. You really have to.
Everton.
But
jeez. He can't even hear us right now. He's like, what?
What?
Oh,
there we go. We got you.
Yeah.
And so the whole premise of this was based off of the struggles that I went through in my last year at the Dolphins. I went through a major depression, major anxiety. Everybody thinks like you're working these dream jobs, right? But meanwhile, Eddie and I, or Everton and I, or other friends that I worked with have these real deep discussions about all the bullshit that we're going through, and then we have to deal with. And people think, you guys work for the Dolphins, it's got to be the greatest thing in the world. And it's like, you don't understand. When I leave shooting, like, listen, I love, like I shot a Metallica concert, right, at Hard Rock Stadium. I'm there. It's 3 a.m, and I'm walking out to my car that's literally under the bridge because we parked that far out,
Right.
And I'm dragging all of my photo gear for a shoot that I have at Photo Day in 2 hours at training camp.
At training camp.
And so
Indeed.
and then it all kind of hits, like you're like, oh crap, like I love what I do, but is it worth the time and effort that I am not seeing or knowing my family, for 20 years of doing this, and just the emotional energy it takes.
That
Were you gonna say something?
I think that's something that we all take a hit on, being in the entertainment business.
You do.
I think it's all the way across the board. Bartenders, servers, musicians, DJs, production companies, anything that has to do with the service industry. It is extremely time consuming. It is extremely demanding. It is very rewarding, but it does pay a toll on you.
Yeah, and
your families.
And to jump on Eddie's thing, I was at training camp when I started. I was making, I'm gonna keep it real, I was making like $28,000 a year, something like that. Wow. I had one car. My wife would go and pick me up and be on the mission. Yeah. But I was there at 7 a.m. because of the early practice that I had to film. And then there's days where I didn't leave till almost 2 a.m. because I had to load up all the content from that day. I was actually at the time a little like a subcontractor because it was after the strike, so they couldn't hire whatnot, but they needed someone like me. They needed someone who could film, someone who could design, someone who could edit video, audio. So I was perfect for the radio show. It was its own podcast.
I want to transition to Everton.
This was before social media.
Yeah, like large social media. Yeah, right.
I really want to transition to Everton. I want to hear his story. I know he's got an amazing story. Everton, welcome back, and give us a little history, man. We've heard the two horses.
Yeah.
I want to hear the final racehorse. Okay.
Right. So I was fortunate to work with these guys for a couple of years at the Dolphins. You know, they've talked about all the work we've done in the past, and you know, I had my own struggles. You know, working through being in sports as well. You know, being at the Dolphins, being at the Marlins, I saw my own dark days, and I really questioned what am I even doing in this, because you know, you're putting in all this time, maybe you're not getting the same reward at the end of it. You're questioning the purpose of the work you're doing at the end of the day. So that's kind of what pushed me to entrepreneurship, you know, kind of led me to where I'm at now. In 2016, I went to Eddie's office, and I was just like, yo, bro, I'm leaving in 3 months. I just got to do the thing now. And, you know, I had a lot of support, you know, whether it be Claudia, which was the VP at the Marlins at the time, or Eddie. They were just like, yo, we get it. We love you. Do what you got to do. And obviously, you know, still connected now. We still have these great relationships. So in 2016, I kind of left the Marlins and started a creative consulting company, Everton LLC. But in 2017, I actually wanted to design a tattoo to pay homage to Miami for myself. So I got super inspired by Shoe Gallery's logo, this other brand called Purple Heart Co. They did like a rendition of a 305 on their end. But I came up with my own 305 and got it tatted on me to kind of represent the city, because obviously Miami is near and dear to my heart. It's, you know, my birthday is November 1st. It's the 305th day of the year. Like, I feel like, you know, Miami's my lifeblood. won the championship in '88, the year I was born. So, like, I just feel like my identity is solely based around Miami, which is what kind of inspired the brand and inspired the tattoo. So after I get this tattoo, I'm like, damn, let me. I had a friend that had a print shop that could print shirts. So I was just like, all right, let me make a shirt with it. And that kind of just, I ended up starting a whole other company, and now we're here, you know.
And to jump on that, so just Everton always had this aspiration. I would sit with him in the cubicle. He goes, bro, I want to make my own brand one day. I want to do this. And I was like, dude, do it. Just go. Like the Gary Vee style. I was like, just get it done.
Like we've talked before, you know, take the very first step and just take it slow and just make your way up that ladder.
Yeah.
Don't make it into where that very first step you have to reach up with your hands, do a pull up, you know, get over the bar, and then you're looking at the next bar.
Right.
You know, just take a small step forward. Just make that first initial step, and then you'll see that your left foot, your right foot, your left foot, your right foot, they're just gonna keep moving, and you're gonna just get that momentum to keep it rolling. Everton, I think I know what's wrong with the laptop, man. And you actually have probably a really good laptop. The thing is that the volume on us is probably a little too high, and it's compressing your voice. As I can hear it when you get a little louder, it opens up a lot more. So it's a setting on your computer. There it is. See, there that was a lot better. So if you have headphones and you want to pop on headphones, it's perfect, man. All right. But that's much better. We can hear you a whole lot clearer.
So
excellent.
Yeah. So
it's fine.
So there you go. So Everton, you know, to give him the influence, you know, because we're talking about that positive influence. He came in. He was a polished guy. University of Florida graduate.
UFR.
Yeah, he went to. He's a Gator. But
what was your major?
My major was actually advertising, and I got an outside concentration in graphic design.
Because I was outside what on graphic design? An outside what? I'm sorry.
Concentration.
Yeah,
I can't hear him. One more time.
Outside concentration.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Yeah.
No, because it cuts off when you scream or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, so he comes in, he's polished, you know, and I learned on my own. I learned graphic design working at a sign shop in Hialeah.
Yeah.
Like that's where I learned how to graphic design. I did.
You see, John agrees. He saw his head pop up. He's like, he learned from Hialeah.
I know.
It all makes sense now.
Yo, I learned.
You know, it's funny. Eddie never talked about being from Hialeah when we were there.
I mean, do you blame him though? Really, honestly, do you blame him? Yo, every time I walk into the office, every time I walk into the office, I have to remind myself, I'm in Kendall. I'm in Kendall. I'm in Kendall.
Dude, I recommend any graphic designer to work there first.
What, in
before going-
Hialeah?
You should.
You could
Like
survive
work at
that.
a paper or work at a print shop. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
It is.
I heard a creative say the other day. He said, "Listen, everybody should work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Your first
You
job should be
That's-
working in a restaurant as a waiter or something along
Yep.
those lines.
Yeah,
front
hospitality.
host or something,
Correct.
because
Hospitality.
that opens your eyes to different people.
Yep. Yep.
Big
It
time.
really does. And it made a lot of sense to me. He was like, I started off as the host,
Yep.
and then I worked, bussing tables, and then I ended up finally being in the kitchen. And when you're in the kitchen, you're kind of like, managing other people. So I got that flavor, and now he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Millionaire.
Dude, because he understands,
Yeah,
how
that's
to
nuts.
do things. I think we lost either.
Did we?
So yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. F it, I'm
Peace.
out.
Yo, so anyways, so let's just get with John while we try to get Everton back on.
Yeah.
So
There he is.
oh, there he is. Is he back on? Oh, there we go. You're back on.
Hey, there you go.
Yo,
I just wanted to get.
So I also want to kind of also talk about your youth. You know what I'm saying? Like where you came up and in junior high or high school, where you're in the Hall of Fame there as well. You know,
Yeah.
and your come up and from
Yeah.
your roots all the way to where you got to, because I think it's inspirational.
Amazing.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I pretty much grew up in the backyard of the stadium my entire life. My elementary school, if you step out in front of it, you can see the stadium in the backdrop. My middle school, we could actually see my middle school from our office window when we were working on the logo change. Eddie actually took a picture of me one time, kind of capturing that moment. And then my high school
it wasn't posed
either.
either.
Right.
I caught him. I
What a
go,
height,
oh, look
right.
at that.
But yeah, my high school was in the area, so I've kind of just, I actually bought my house in the backyard of the stadium as well. So I've kind of been in this community, been a part of this community my whole life. And for me, like the biggest thing I want to do with my legacy is kind of give back. That's the whole premise for me, doing my brand and creating the things that I am, is to ultimately give back. So even with this collab, with the Better collab, John approached me back in June, just kind of like, hey, let's do a collab. I'm like, well, I've never really done a collab with this magnitude. I mean, a collab ever. But I've seen it done a couple of different ways, and I kind of have all the tools in place to do it. So let's just make it happen. And, I created 3 different concepts. There's maybe 6 colorways. Eddie has on one to stay safe and please go vote. I have on another one here that's inspired by Miami protests, titled "No Justice, No Peace." But at the end of the day, whatever all the proceeds from this collab is going to go directly to local organizations that are making a difference in the community. There's one, for example, the community fridge. They literally have a fridge on the street,
outside. Yeah,
to a
I've seen
store. Yes.
I've
So
seen
they,
it. I've seen it.
they
I think they
fill it
got one
up.
in Carroll City, no?
It's in the
They have 4 right now. I'm not sure of all the locations, but I mean, these things get filled up daily, and they're gone. Like all the food is gone within an hour, especially during these times. There's another guy that I know. He's a civics teacher in Miami-Dade Public Schools, and he basically created a space for kids to come get help with the virtual schooling, feed them good meals, support them during the day, because maybe they don't have that support at home. And, he's helping these kids get through this tough, difficult time now.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's just so
also-
sad to know that we have so many things here in the home front that, we need to fight our own battles before helping others. Sometimes, like when you're on an airplane, it tells you put your mask on first and then help the person next to you.
Yeah.
But
and you're out there doing that. You're out there doing that. So that's awesome, and more power to you, bro.
I appreciate it. So, hopefully we can sell out all this merch soon and give a good amount of money to the community. I also want to shout out the Greenhaven Project as well. They're a community garden in the middle of Overtown, which is like, I mean, you know, people need. It's a food desert there, so getting, you know, fresh produce and these things like that in the community are super important.
Right.
So we got people on the ground there that are actually cultivating the ground, growing stuff, and giving it right back to the community.
With that being said, where
so,
can we buy the shirts? Where can we get the shirts? Where can we get the stuff?
Sure. There's a microsite, but there you could also go directly to my website. It's the3O5.com. Real simple. You can also follow us on the IG at the 3O5_. And then you can just go there. You can see all the designs, and you can jump on the site.
Yeah, and what we'll do, what we'll do is in the post, we'll do this clip for you, and then we'll snip it out, and then we'll put it on our social media, and we'll put all the handles and everything to support the
yeah, for sure.
Dude.
O as in the letter O.
And then John, so like,
yes.
And John and E, like, talk to me about the collab. Talk to me about that conversation. Let's let the people know, like, you know, especially John, like, you know, you're way up in Wisconsin right now.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. It's cold.
How's the cheese?
It's the best.
Cold.
You never had.
It's cold. Everything's cold.
The cheese is great. He moved up
Really,
just for
really,
the cheese. You know that, right?
Everything's cold.
It's Wisconsin, man.
My balls are cold. The cheese is cold. Everything's cold.
But from John, from the better side, you know, from the, you know, better the company. what
Wisconsin.
What, you know, there it is.
There it is.
Better Miami.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is. So like, what is the also the mindset with the collab?
Yeah.
Or
So
the thought process, you know,
when I
the
approached
idea.
Everton, we were actually in the midst of the Black Lives Matter movement, really, like in the protests that were happening, and we can't avoid it. We are a kind of politically and religiously agnostic platform, whereas we're not going to take a side either way, but you can, you know, we will fight for social justice, because that is what everybody should be doing, right? And so we actually approached, so our head of content, Nick Conklin, he was the former head of digital at Clemson, which is, you know, one of the best in the country, and just had a ton of connections as well. And so we approached Everton and one of his friends as well, who was out in LA, and that collab unfortunately fell through, but the one with Everton kept going. And we said, you know, we have to focus, you know, like, how can you work with Britt, who was one of our graphic designers on the Better team, and how can we create something that is regional and does some really good impact, and then we can expand, you know, into what we do. And this isn't like, we're pre-revenue, right, as a company in general, and so this was about giving back to and making a statement with E. And helping to amplify his voices. That's the core of what we do at Better, is amplify the voices that matter. And so that's what Everton's doing, right? And so this was a no-brainer for me. Like, I went to the team and said, you got to see what E's doing. I had already ordered some 305 stuff. I love it. I wear it all the time. Yeah, exactly. I'm very much. I learned that from you, Eddie. You know, I got a guy.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
He comes from Arizona, bouncing around,
so
and
the
one thing he took from Miami is, I got a guy.
You know, if it's one thing about Hialeah people, they'll infect everybody around them. Now there's a guy in Wisconsin going, I got a guy. I got a guy.
I got a guy virus is out, and it's over there.
No, you're worse than the corona. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yo, if people ever ask me, there's like, you know, a printer, and I'm like, yo, Print House, check it out. I got a guy. I know some people.
And I can see Everton. I can see Everton getting down in his workspace, being like, let's go. We got to do it. We got to do it now. Let's go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to do it now. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
You're an infection, bro.
You're
an enigma.
You know, it was a no-brainer for us.
But it's for a good cause.
I love it. I love it.
Cheers on the
Hey!
Cheers, John.
Yeah.
E.
Hey, where we go? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Olé!
All right.
All right, so we're running out of time here. I want to make sure that we get John's information out there too. John, where can we find you? Where if people want to hear your story, if we want to hear your podcast, everything that you have going on, give us a couple of links. Tell us where we can find all the stuff that you have going on. Lexi, can you please be careful?
Yeah. So my podcast Creative AF is there you go. So you've got at JWillyPhoto, Twitter at John Willie, and then if you want to follow my art page, it's at WillyArt, WILLEYART on Instagram. And then Creative AF, you can search for Creative AF in whatever you listen to podcasts for. We're hosted on Sounder, so creativeaf.sounder.fm if you want to go directly to it. And you're going to hear from some of the, my recent interview with Sammy Silverman, who was the creative director for Ohio State for a long time, and just what happened with him and the burnout that nobody's immune to this, right? We talked to Roxy Dobbins from the Houston Astros who left after they won a World Series because of the pressures and those sort of things, and Will Posthumus is one of my early guests, and so there's a lot of people that we talk to who were in high level position in sports just to get real about mental health and the struggles that we have. But we always keep it positive, right? Everything's a spin about how can these young kids coming in, how can these young kids coming into sports who just want to say, man, I love it. This is my passion. This is my dream. And I always ask them, whose dream is it? Is it your dream? Is it your parents' dream? Do you just love being in sports, right? Why are you doing this? Do you like the dopamine hit of going out into a stadium? I miss that. There's no doubt. It's just like the same thing about getting notifications on your Instagram, right? It's the dopamine hit that we all strive for. But then when that dopamine hit means you're not seeing your family for 3 months at a time, is it worth it? So there's those. Check it out, Creative AF, and it's just it's exciting for me to do. And then check out the work we're doing at Better.
Put it back up.
You're going to see a lot of quick focus on. We're just at BETR on Instagram, at BETR on Twitter. You can go to livebetter.com and see. You're gonna see some new stuff coming with us real soon in the audio space. So super exciting.
Well, John, you said something that resonated with me, and let me tell you, I think I figured that part out. It's something that I learned here when I came back. I left to the Coast Guard for about 5 years, and I had the business running while I was gone. And something I learned about the young kids going in was, the question that you just asked hits me really hard, because I saw these kids hate, absolutely detest being away from home, being away from their families. But when they showed up on the boat for, the hellos and the hugs and the hi and welcome back and blah, 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 they put on this facade. And the reason I find that people do the things that they do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's to receive that gratitude of you're doing something important. The fact that they felt like they were important, that they were doing something for a greater cause, I think that that's what everyone strives for and wants, whether they enjoy it or not. And a lot of times people don't enjoy what they're doing, but because they have a position in which they feel is cool, vibey, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, I hope that those people find true happiness, though. Honestly, I really do, because you it's a total different passion. I can hear it when you talk about audio. It's a total different passion when you actually love something and you start it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Take the steps. Stop worrying about what to do.
That's why I'm here, because I wanted to do this, and that's why I'm bringing these guys in and bringing everybody that I know, wait till we hear from John. We're going to bring Sergio in here, I think, in a couple weeks.
Nice.
I love Sergio's. They make some great food.
Look at their reaction, right? Sergio Zika, what's up? What's up with Sergio, everybody? Tell me what's up.
Dude, you should have the other Sergio on too. You should have Il Serge on too from the street artist.
Yes. I was actually going to try to bring him on now because I wanted to talk, because his
we could do it.
By the way,
let's bring him on
social media. When you follow me at Eddie Alexander, I actually purchased a painting. Well, two paintings of Pinky and the Brain that John did. He posted. You know what we'll do, Sandy, later with the show. We'll do the overlays and stuff for the show. So
there you go.
We don't have it on hand right now.
Perfect.
But anyways, I ended up getting it from John, and Il Surge is one of the he's in Wynwood. He's got his own gallery now, right?
I mean, you got ill for the first part of your name. That's
is
awesome.
No, but not, look. He not only is a talented artist, but again, good guy, great personality. If I call him right now to have coffee, he will go now. Right now, he'll get up and
absolutely.
Go. Eddie, you want to go have coffee? Let's go have coffee.
You know what amazes me is that every time, ever since I've known Eddie Alexander, you know, the craziest part is that everyone in his circle, shut up. Everyone, I'm giving you your moment of shine, all right?
I know.
Just sit back and enjoy it, all right?
I'm trying
Put
to
your freaking pinky up and just sit back and enjoy it.
I'm trying to be like the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Everyone around him is uber talented, man. So I really want to thank you guys extremely for taking the time out of your extremely busy days and doing some amazing things with your creative talents and sharing it with the world. I want to leave with this really quickly, though. If you had to inspire a young kid coming up doing what you guys are doing and you wanted to lead them in the right path, what are some of the tools? What are some of the things that you think that they should start with? We'll start with you, John.
I think you have to. Everybody that I tell when I talk to them, who ask me, how do I get into sports? How do I get into photography? You have to take a quick step back and you have to realize what your why is, right? So I always tell people, like, find your why, understand why you want to do what you want to do. For my entire life, you know, I wanted to be an artist. I was an artist. I wanted to be an animator. I went to school for medicine, right? And did that for the first half of my career because I just, like, it wasn't the world wasn't where we are at today. We are at a different place in life where you can be anything that you want, right? Animators are being discovered off of TikTok and getting contracts with Pixar. Like, it's a different world that we live in. So you need to start quickly, and it doesn't matter. You don't need the highest end stuff. If you want to start a podcast with your AirPods, start a podcast with your freaking AirPods. Just go.
That's how this started. It literally started with my iMac. Yeah. Literally. That's it.
Yep. And exactly. I mean, and what you guys are doing, right? It's the same thing. If you want to learn something, figure out how to learn it. If you want to be a DJ, you can find a deck for $100 to start with, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
Where should you go buy that DJ equipment?
From you.
Good answer, John.
Hold on. Let me find it.
That's some applause. We need some applause.
Yeah, he's looking for the sample.
Here it is.
There it is.
Hey.
Oh my god.
You don't know where that sound is from. You don't listen to it. So that's it, right? You're going to, you know, it doesn't matter what you have to do.
Yeah.
When young photographers come to me and say, but I just want to shoot on the sidelines, I'm like, that's the last place you should be shooting. You know, like, we shoot 16 games a year. Like, you need to be shooting everything you can get with your brother and sister playing sports and tell a story. And that's the biggest thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
that's amazing.
We're gonna post up a picture that relates to
Bam.
that.
Hey, there's my guy.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's part of John's photography.
Look at the amazing tones and colors and everything behind it, man. Is that raw? Is that after? Like, do you guys edit them afterwards, or is that raw?
That was very little editing in that photo, actually.
Amazing. Yeah. Look at that. Listen, you know, for those of you that are aspiring to do something, make sure that you just take the first steps and don't be afraid to grind behind the scenes. You know what? Like he said, take pictures of people in the audience and capture a moment that you're so proud of, and you show them, and you never know. They may take that second to go, wow, you know what? You shot that with your phone. I can only imagine if I trained you to use this. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Everton,
the photographers that I brought on, or go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go.
John. I was going to say I hired a photographer to replace me at the Diamondbacks, actually, off of one photo, because I could see what he had. The photographers, Carlos, you know, Carlos was into wine and it was at FIU working, to become in the hotel business. And he's like, I really enjoy photography. Can I come shadow you? And he literally sat next to me. Eddie did this too, right? Sat next to me for a season, and just watched. And that's what you have to understand. And now Carlos is one of the team photographers, and it's changed,
Hey, John,
that's nearly how all of us do it. That's every major success story is, I wanted it so bad that I showed up and I just started picking up stuff and doing stuff.
Yes.
People, kids need to understand this, man. Like, just start doing something.
Sit next to the talent. Yeah. Look at the Dolphins, and John, I'm gonna, because I know we got a little short window here because we got to go. But
okay.
And E will get to you now too. But John,
yes,
when John, he's like yes. So this is amazing. I was the in-game DJ, top notch. I was number 2 in the league. This whole thing, and my last, what I didn't know was gonna be my last season there. John's like, hey, dude, come with me on the field. You have a passion for the art and this and that. Sit next to me. Help me be a photographer. Now, I knew of photography. I didn't know how to actually shoot like John, basically, as a pro. I sat next to John, literally just running the card. He would shoot the touchdown or the play or whatever, and John's like, hey, here, take this to the back. So I went from, basically, I took, I would kind of say it's a little bit of a step back to take a major step forward. I went from the booth and literally just sat next to John with a big fanny pack, and I would put all the memory cards in there, and I would make sure that John had a fresh memory card. So I did the little grunt work for John. But while I was sitting there, John was like, hey, give me this lens. Hey, by the way, this is what this lens does. He would shoot it, and then he would show me. And I was like, oh, wow. He goes, but when you shoot like this, do like this with your iris, do like this with your zoom. It's auto. So he's showing me as I'm sitting there. It got to the point, and this is the great point. It got to the point, like I think we were getting blown out by somebody, right? Of course we were. Shots fired.
Name a team. Name a team.
Name a team. Close your eyes, throw a dart. Throw a dart on the map. We got blown out by them. So, but long story short, I was able to shoot an entire quarter by myself. I got to that point where he was like, hey, it's the fourth quarter. Go ahead. This is your moment. And I got to shoot. Now, transitioning now to the positive, amazing guy that John is, and I'm going to give you here like the major kudos. My dad wasn't feeling very well. And he was going through a lot, and my dad's hobby was photography at the time. I think he's still dabbling and stuff like that. And my dad was taking some good pictures, and I talked to John. I told him about it in the office, what I was going through emotionally with my dad and the whole thing. And it was the last game of the year against the Jets. And he goes, why don't we get your dad to be a photographer, an official photographer for the game?
That's beautiful.
You imagine my dad, who grew up by the Orange Bowl, since the 60s, watched the 72 Dolphins and all this, and now my dad is finally on the field as a photographer.
Sometimes we don't realize the power that we have, in certain positions.
Exactly.
Teachers, anybody, any position, really, you have the power to change somebody's life.
So
and that's a beautiful moment that you guys made happen. You know what I mean? Like, he told me the story behind the scenes.
Simple.
And it didn't cost you anything. It was just a second of your time to listen and go, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's what Everton did with his company, and that's what he's doing. And again, kudos to you, man. Let's hear your position on this take about young entrepreneurs or somebody trying to get into the business.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, and this is, I would say the first thing is to appreciate people. I mean, obviously we see like the beautiful gratitude going on between everybody here today, but I mean, I have to shout out Sergio, because without him, I don't even get my job at the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, you never know what, what people are going to do for your life. You can meet a stranger that could change your life that day, but if you treat people good, show love to people, you'll see the fruits of your labor. You'll see it return tenfold down the road. And the other thing I would say is be true to yourself. For me as an entrepreneur, I think that's been the biggest motivation for what I do, is to kind of get back in touch with myself, my true self, I guess, and then create from that standpoint, because that creates the most true work.
Yeah, there you have it.
That's beautiful, man.
So, and I just hope that
Appreciate
everybody
it.
that was listening today and everything, takes the examples of what we learned. I go back to my Power 96 story where I wasn't even an official employee, but I was sitting in the lobby waiting for the guys to
Picking up crates.
to key me in. I was picking up crates just to get the opportunity to literally DJ live on the air or learn audio production. You know what I'm saying? So do the hustle.
Yeah.
It pays off. That little hard work will pay off. And
It's funny you say that, because there's people in the industry that look at me and they're like, oh, Eddie, you're so successful, blah, 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 blah. And I look at myself and I'm like, no, I need to strive for more.
Yeah.
And I continue to shadow other people. I shadow you. I shadow Sandy. Sandy works with, she works with me. But at the end of the day, most people know her as an employee of my company. No, she's a teammate of my company. James in the back right now, lifting up stuff, taking stuff. I learn from him. I learn from anybody I can. The thing that I can take away from people is don't stop learning and don't underestimate anyone. Even if they're a caca bag, learn from that person, because you can learn from somebody who's a caca bag. You learn not to be a caca bag. Okay? That's how you do
Amen.
it. All right.
Yeah.
When I was out there was some good bosses and there was some bad bosses, and the things that I learned were, I want to be more like this person. I don't want to be like this person. So you learn from some of the worst things that can happen to you. And
right.
And I leave it with that. John, Everton, you guys have anything else you want to add or say, or anything else you guys want to plug in?
Yeah. I think.
I'm good.
no.
I mean, thanks.
Go
This
ahead.
is great. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. And John, we're gonna, after the show, clearly on the YouTube, we're gonna put all the links up and all that. Just shoot us a note with all the all the links, because it's a lot of stuff. But we're gonna pop it in for you. We're also gonna share it on our Instagram and all things, and anything that you guys need. You know that this is only love, and you can check in with us anytime. Like literally, you could just get on the VMix and pop in if you want to say something.
Yeah, man. Anytime you guys
Love it.
want,
Love it.
I know you have my number, John. Everton, please, we'll
Yeah.
get you my number. And you guys are more than welcome to hop on anytime. You're welcome here. This is your house. Anything you guys ever need, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
John's had a little bit of a little conversation here and there with me, and that I'm genuinely that person to make sure that whatever you need is there at your fingertips. With that being said, this is Two Eddies podcast. Well, you know what? I have
What are we doing?
I have 1 minute.
All right, go.
I have 1 minute. All right, 1 minute.
Go.
Memes up segment. Sandy, we got it? We got it. All right, let's do it. All right, memes up. You guys are gonna check this out and laugh with us. Memes up segment, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we put up some memes that you guys send to us, and we'll talk about it and we'll show you what's up. All right, very first one, Toxica of 2020 award goes to.
Talk.
Bam.
She's great.
Have you guys seen that video?
A queen.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yes,
beating
a
up
queen.
her, beating up her
man.
sister, bro. It was horrible.
With a smile.
If you had to get rid of one of these, which would you choose? Grilled cheese, mac and cheese, nachos, cheese fries, mozzarella, cheese bread.
Man.
Which one, guys?
That's a
Pick one.
toughie. Grilled
First one that
cheese.
comes to your head.
John.
Grilled cheese.
I'm
Get rid of
going
grilled
cheese.
cheesy bread.
Cheesy bread and grilled cheese.
Cheesy
Sandy.
bread.
Eddie.
Getting rid of mac and cheese.
For me, it would be
No.
cheesy bread. cheesy bread for me.
I know mac and cheese is your
Yeah,
funk.
bro.
I know
Wow,
mac and
bro.
cheese is
Come
your
Who
on.
funk.
gets rid of mac and
Come
cheese?
on,
What kind
bro.
of childhood did
He
you have,
loves
bro?
mac and cheese.
Right? You could live off of mac and cheese.
He would bring it in. He would bring it in from the day before. The lobster mac and cheese.
Lobster mac
Gotta
and
have
Oh,
it.
you
Have it.
fancy, huh?
Yo,
Oh, you fancy,
I
Yeah.
huh?
remember.
Yo,
All right.
I do my
we
thing.
can talk about this guy's order at the Burger Beer Bar. I mean,
No.
Oh, at Burger and
the
Beer joint.
$40 burger.
Bigger beer joint,
$40
man, with
burger.
lobster
For my
on
go-
that shit.
Yeah, with my going away party. You know, they closed, by the way. But you can
Did
build
they?
your own
Yeah.
burger. And Eddie, there was a massive burger. I'm telling you, this thing had meat. It had lobster. It had asparagus.
All the fixings.
And
Yeah.
I added everything. The burger was this tall. it was
Top
like
it off
what,
with some fried Oreos, and we were good.
How'd you explain that to Tom after in the budget?
He's like,
Eddie's
and he's going
away.
away. Spend whatever money you want.
All right.
Good riddance.
Good. Hey, they gave him carte blanche. Whatever you need to do to get rid of this guy.
Oh man.
All right. If you don't
Nah, that
click
was
these
bad.
bad boys a couple of times before you use them,
Twice.
I can't trust you. Gotta make sure them tongs is is tonging.
Nailed it. Nailed
Oh,
it.
man.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. Suavemente, besame,
What's that?
bam.
I'm out. I'm out. Floor killer.
That's good.
Oh no, it's
He-
to the
he's
floor.
running
Oh, he's
to the
running
floor.
to the floor. Okay.
He's running to the floor.
Yo, tell me I
That's
didn't do a
great.
good job on that segment right there. That was good.
Yeah, that was
All
good.
right,
You
know
went
what?
right through it
Yeah,
quick,
listen,
too.
bam. Look at hold on. All right. Just told my kids I'm older than Google. They think I'm joking. Born before September 4th, 1998. Congrats, you're older than Google.
Man, I'm
Those are
20,
great.
21 years older than Google.
This one's awesome. I haven't even read these. WAP. Back in my day, warm apple pie. Can we please start to
Oh man, dude, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
can we please start a support group for procrastinators
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's me. Hey, bro, I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Wow, man. All right.
Anyways. that
Well,
was
ladies
fun.
and gentlemen, that's two Eddies don't make a right. And of course, we want to thank our special guest, John and Everton, for coming into the studio and enjoying some time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for that. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitch, we really appreciate it. But if you're catching the show afterwards on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or any of the other platforms that we're on podcasts, please make sure you check us out on YouTube, www.youtube.com. And then search into Eddie's podcast. The more subscribers we have, the sooner or later we're going to get that subscription status to be able to have our own channel and start making some money on this because, you know, it's starting to get expensive with Eddie over here. All these coffees and bread that I got to give out.
I know. I told you.
It would have
about
been cheaper if you would have liked the mac and cheese, but damn it.
Hey, John. Hey, John. Can your sales guy, boss guy, help us out here?
Yeah, we'll talk. Let's talk offline.
I got the money!
No, this show's not about money.
Show me the money!
We're all about
Everything's
inspiration.
got
Show me
it
the money!
It's all about influence. Oh, give me the money.
My daughter's even screaming in the background. She's like, "Whoa, yeah, money!"
Yeah.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We are out of
Thanks,
here.
guys.
Later, guys. Thank you. Bye.
All right.